FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday the 5th of October 2025 with FLOSSTUBE number 287. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about counted cross stitch. On another wet, dreary weekend. Spring is so far sucking. We've had a couple of really nice days. I think I mentioned last Saturday that I had been, I think it was Saturday, yeah, out and about, and it was just beautiful. It was such a lovely, perfect spring day. Anyway, it was nice last Saturday, wasn't it? It just is raining all the time. Like, not all the time, but enough to be a nuisance. And it feels like most days we're having some rain. Very Auckland. So you Aucklanders know what I mean. But anyway, to be fair, other than me needing to get out and mow my lawns and maybe plant a few things, apart from that, I don't really mind staying home and staying inside. Yay! What does that mean? So much stitching that I wore a hole in my pushing finger. I need to get some of those little stick-on thimble sticker things. I don't want a thimble, but I had to put a band-aid on to keep stitching, really. Every now and then, my little number 28s start to wear a hole in my finger. I must suffer for my art. What's happened this last week? Not a terribly exciting week as weeks go. Work with work, busy as always. Can't even remember what I did. I know I went into Wellington on one day, Thursday maybe? Yeah, Thursday. I think it was Thursday. And those random days in the office are never as productive, but they're differently productive, right? You get to engage with people and catch up with people and have some informal conversations which potentially lead to other work or getting roadblocks dealt with. But went with a couple of work friends to the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra on Thursday night. It's quite a different demographic goes to the symphony orchestra. It's definitely even, I'd say, older than the ballet. The ballet tends to have quite a good mix, but you know, you certainly have your 50 Shades of Grey in the audience, right? I mean, if I didn't deal with the roots, I'd be in that group as well. But yeah, certainly the symphony orchestra definitely has less younger people at it, and they literally have branded minivans from retirement villages that pull up to deposit, you know, a fair share of people with walking sticks and Zimmer frames, and so it's nice that they put that service on. I would love a minivan to take me home as well. One day in the future, when I'm in a retirement village, I will make use of the minivan. But it was, yeah, we had a really enjoyable evening with my friend Lauren. It was her first time going to the orchestra. We're going again at the end of October, like 21, 2, 3, maybe 23rd. I know it's a Thursday. That was probably the highlight of the week, really, other than getting a lie in yesterday. I'm focusing on finishing up 3 or 4 novels that I'm partly through. I have like one Kindle. I typically have one on my Kindle, and then I don't sync my Kindle on my phone other than the library and the stuff I bought. But then on my phone, I have another one just in case I'm caught short somewhere without any other means to entertain myself. So I'll have a different novel on my phone, and then I usually have at least one library book going, and then usually, well, actually I've got probably 3 or 4 on my shelf that are partially read from my own library. So I finished the one on my phone. Yeah, I finished the one on my phone on Friday night. I finished the one on my Kindle yesterday morning, and I'm working my way through the library book. So I should get that finished today. So yay, good reading week as well. Other than that, stitchy-wise, I did a little bit of stitching. I've got 4 projects to show you. No new stash, no stash acquisitions. I know I've got I know I'm going to have to give Helen from That Crafty Kiwi some money shortly. There's a couple of things she's ordered in. So as soon as they arrive, she's going to package that up for me. So I'll just wait for that. And I'll have, you know, my normal sort of country stitch packet coming in a couple of weeks. So that will be enough stash investment for now, I think. And yeah, then I've got, so 4 projects to show you. I've got some past finishes to show you. And then also I might, in the theme of my past finishes, I might do a new start just for shits and giggles. So I might get you guys to vote on which one I start through the comments. Okay, that is probably the work life stuff. And that's for my voting. Let's just get into the stitching stuff. Right, what did I work on this week? Old Louisa, I did much better at stitching on her every day, most days this week. So Louisa Coulimore from Hands Across the Sea samplers. She's a Bristol. She was one of my stash sampler starts for 2025. Oh, maybe I should have shown you my stash sample. Narissa did a good job of showing all of her 11 in the end stash sampler starts that she did in her video that she went up on Thursday. Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle, but I can't be bothered. So good on you, Narissa, you're amazing. No, I can't be bothered. Louisa was start number 1, and she's also my Red Thread a Day project, so I'll keep stitching on her till she's finished. She's on 56 Grunard linen from the Wee Linen Company. I was going to say the Wee Scottish Company, but it's the Wee Linen Company. No longer dying, I don't think, or at least taking a break. And I'm using Gütermann silk, which a few people have asked me in the comments, what's it like? It's exactly the same as using a Vivsters 103. It's the same weight. It's essentially a sewing cotton. So if you wanted to sew like a sewing machine or hand embroider, it's a sewing thread. So it's just that it's been, adopted more in the cross stitch community as we move to higher count lines, right? So Gütermann is just the same. It's just you don't have 500 or however many colours. You have, I don't know, I'm making this up now, 50 colours. So if you wanted, a family of yellows, you're not going to find that. You might find, a lemon, a mustard, and a couple of middle yellows. So, but when you just want one colour, it's easy enough for me to go and buy another spool from Spotlight because they have Gütermann silk. Lincraft in Upper Hutt does not have the silk. What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, shall I show you my stitching? Blah, blah, blah. Here we are. Ta-da! I'm not going to remember what I did since last time. Definitely all that top. When I say the top, all of this is new. So these motifs here, these 2 little bands under the bird, maybe this one as well, I think. So probably that one, all of this malak here. I think I'd done that last time, or I still needed to do those 2 last time. Definitely this stuff, maybe these 2. Does it really matter? I've stitched more, quite a good bit more. So the last few days, I've just been doing one of these a day. So it's about 2 threads because, again, this is 56 count and a decent length, probably like 13 inches of cotton goes a really long way. One day I got all these motifs in just in one day. That's that weird star, the hanker, the heart, the dog, the key, and the crown. I got them all in one day. These I did, I think, in one day. I think I did just that one, and then I did these 2 and the bird in one day, I think. Like, definitely averaging probably 2 threads a day, which is, I either kind of do 10 threads twice a day, or I do 2 threads 7 days. Anyway, happy with that. So yeah, this next week I'll get the rest of this in. So there's a couple more of these sort of floral corner motifs to go in, and a couple of bands. where are we? Yeah, so I've got, where am I? I've gone between the flower hearts. I've got that one, two, so I've got 3 more of those, a little one, and then a couple there. So I'll aim to get that all done this week. And then that will be what, where's halfway? Halfway's about here, so we're just shy of halfway. So get all that in, gets most of the, I'm going to call this the noisy stuff. And then just have, partial alphabet. That will, So I guess the goal for this week will just be to continue finishing off all of this. Huzzah! Happy with that. I don't know where to put everything. On this chair. Not in any particular order, because of course that one there I pick up every day. I stitched that last little corner this morning. I mentioned that I needed to get my all September and then work on October's leap year sale pieces. So Procession of Princesses came out first. This is the one that wore a hole in my finger because I did a lot. So this is from Vivsters. It's a artistic interpretation of a work from Lizzie the Stitcher. Both of my leap year pieces are inspired by art from Lizzie the Stitcher. So I'm stitching this on 20 count Ivory Aida from Zweigart using the Charter DMC, including the metallic thread, aka devil's thread. And yeah, hashtag, I'm slack at hashtags, hashtag leap year sale. And I started this 29th February, aim to finish it on the 29th February 2028. I am on track to do so. I'll show you the stats at the end. I got 2 months worth in, so I stitched this one's about 1700 stitches. So I went, I sort of picked it up and I finished off, this is where I'm at. So it's, I can't see, ta-da! Yeah, there's a lot of black in there. I filled in, first of all I filled in the shoulder. There was a little bit of this background green to do, and then I was just not in the mood for stitching pattern. So I thought, well, even to finish this bit of pattern, I wanted to bring her shoulder up and everything. So I started on the black, and then I went, you know what? I just carried on, and I did all of the remaining background. So it was over 3,000 stitches of black. So it is all of the black. So I have now fully completed all of the black outline, and I'm very happy to have done so. No excuses now. I start working on pattern. So really happy with that. There's quite a lot of there's some huge pieces of color that I'm not going to be able to fully finish a whole section within 1 month, which is okay. With most of those bushes I was able to do. But I'm really happy with it and excited to carry on with that. So that I got all of September and October done. And then I did pick up, once I put the band-aid on, I did pick up the other leap year sale piece, which is Women in Profile. So this is a section of a bigger artwork, and this one is the 1001 Arabian Nights. The other one is maybe Aladdin, I cannot remember now. So this one is a piece of a bigger piece, and I think and I just love it. So this one is also on 20 count Aida, and using DMC, same start date, same goal finish date. I got all of September stitched and a little bit more, but I just had to stop and to give my finger a break. And because I'm trying to do catch up, and I've been ignoring all of the, what do you call the stuff with the confetti, and I've just been doing big pick a color and that I can get a lot of stitching. So whereas I kind of tried to fill in as I went with the first sort of quarter, I've kind of gone away from that for now, and I'm just getting big blocks of colour in. Doesn't matter, I've got to stitch every stitch anyway. Here's where we're at. So I'm a little bit beyond September. So I finished September and I started on no, I'm like a few stitches over my goal for September. So the other piece is a little bit over because I did all the black to finish it, and this one's a little, just like a few stitches over to finish that row. So what did I stitch on? Basically orange and black, very October, not that I do Halloween really, or at all, but sometimes I do. So I stitched a whole lot of stitches in here. So all of this black is new. So this was probably about 3, all up it's like 5.5, all up it's about 5,000 stitches that I stitched. So the darker orange, a lot of 720 in here, and all of that bit of black. So there's now only about 8,500 black stitches left in this piece, only. That's what I got. So this is the top, is coming up here somewhere. So this is just the background. I don't know what, it could be, so it's this piece here that I'm working on here. So we're still doing the curve around here. So we haven't quite, probably about here. So we've still got that much to go to get to the top. So I worked on that, and then this bit of black is her hair I'm working on here. That's all solid black through there. Some confetti through here with her headpiece, but yeah, that's solid black. And then obviously there's still some decoration to come into that orange background, but and you know, I gave up working over here. After working like a year in dark, right, it was quite nice to do some orange. So good progress on that one. So still will chip away on October's goal for that one. So where are we? I keep my little stats sheet or my little progress sheet. So shows you here, we've got I did the September and October goal in one for Procession of Princesses. Women in Profile, we've got the September goal, still working on October. So Women in Profile, I stitched 2,619 stitches, leaving me at 48,555. which is about 80 over my end of September goal. Monthly target on that's 2,552 stitches. So I've got about, doing maths in my head, 2,460 odd, 70 odd stitches to go to get my October goal. For Procession of Princesses, I went over because I wanted to finish all the black. So my goal for the end of October was 34,000, and I'm on 34,471. So next month, if I only do to my November goal, I will only have to stitch on about 1,300 stitches. That one's 1,700 a month. So yeah, I did 38,031 stitches. No, I didn't. I did 3,831 stitches, and I wrote them here. I completed the 310, so I got one colour finished on that one there. So happy with my progress. We'll totally be able to get caught up on Women in Profile this month, because that's only the whatever date I said when I started this video, 5th maybe. And then I reminded myself, well, Lizzie the Stitcher did a video, having not done one for a few months, and it was nice to see her back. She's, you know, sometimes life comes before YouTube videos, but we're doing a stitch along together, and I'd messaged her saying it was nice to see her, but also I must get this out because I have to finish it this year. And it's my Plum Street Real Comfort. This was my birthday start, and the reason I have to finish it is because I have another birthday start, and I always finish my birthday start in the year. I just haven't finished this one yet. I'm usually done by now, so I need to focus on this for the next little while. So Real Comfort, mine is stitched on the called for 36 count Saltbush linen from Fox and Ribbit, using a Vicky Clayton hand-dyed fibres silk pack. Started on my birthday, 18th of January, and the colours, I changed something because it just didn't contrast enough. I'll talk to that in a second. I'll show you where I'm at. This is where I'm at right now. I do love stitching with the silk, but a couple of these colours in this conversion are giving me a little bit of a conniption, but that's fine. Working around it. So what did I work on? Basically I got, you saw this last time, and I'd stitched a little bit. I'd stitched up to where those flowers, where the leaves were. These 6 flowers on this side, I'd stitched the leaves, and this brown up to where the yellow flowers started. So I got all of the 6 flowers in last night, and then I started on this house, stitching this house up. I've still got to put the doorknob in. I started putting the door in. The door is supposed to be this colour, and where this has enough variation that it contrasts enough, is a stronger contrast in with the model colours. This door just didn't, too much of the, when I pulled this colour, it just blended in too much. It's like it's too narrow. So I swapped it for one of the other colours. So the door is a different colour. I still need to put the doorknob in. It's one of the yellows that's in here. And then I brought the house up beyond the thing to where the windows start, and then I've started to get the window frames in. The window frames are the same as this one. It's the same colour as that path. So I'm just working on all the window frames, getting them in, and then I can just stitch around with the dry rub, which is the colour of the Vicky Clayton colour there. So I'm just going to work on the house, because once that house is in, that's, you know, 2/3 of this thing done. So a little bit of progress on that. That was again with Band-Aid finger. So I did a little bit last night watching. So we've finished, there are only like 7 or 8 episodes a season, right? But I finished season 13 of I think it's season 13 of Call the Midwife. And last night I watched the Christmas special, which partway through Call the Midwife, so I used to do like a Christmas special at the end of a season, and then at some stage they started doing a Christmas special at the beginning of the season. My friend Lauren said it's on Boxing Day and then the season follows. So I think season 12 maybe started with the Christmas season first, or the Christmas special Christmas special first. So I watched the Christmas special, which was a 2-parter for season 14. I watched that last night. So now I've just got season 14 to finish. And then apparently Call the Midwife, Christmas special, Boxing Day for season 15. So I've managed to catch up. So I've got like 7 or 8 episodes of season, whatever the last season is, 14 to watch. And then I'm caught up. I'm caught up ready. And I only started watching it like earlier this year. So I say, I excel at binging. A bag of chips, a freaking urban fantasy novel, a Lord of the Rings extended edition series, 3 movies, Call the Midwife. I'm very good at binging. I have a binge personality. So I got most of that done. Then this morning I got some of those windows in, so just so I could show you something more than just some brown. And I thought, well, I better get my video filmed. That's my stitching for the week. Very exciting. So let's transition really quickly to some past finishes. Ugh. So I thought I'll just grab my Nora Corbett's, because I've shown you all my mirrors way back at the beginning of this, you know, let's walk through Leigh's cupboard of freaking framing or finishing to do. So I thought I'll just bring up my Nora Corbett's that I've got. I certainly haven't stitched on a Mirabilia for a number of years, and of late, I mean, the thing is, if I ever get them all framed, I don't have enough wall space, right? So there's just no need for me to work on any more Mirabilias, even though I do love Mirabilia. Also, I don't love the more modern Mirabilias, so I kind of like the classic ones. So it's what it is. But I've got enough. I've got 8. I've stitched 9. I've got at least 9. Sold 1. I've stitched 8. I've got 8 in the cupboard. It's enough. But the Noras are nice and small. They still let you feed the bling. You know, when I need a bit of bling, they bring some bling joy to me. Anyway, so I'll show you my Bellas. Nope, I'll show you my Nora Corbett's that I've got stitched, and then we'll move into, I want you guys to vote on something, because I want you to start related to this theme. First up, I've got all the 4 Bella portraits. I stitched all of these on 32 count white linen with cool for materials. I used scraps. I'm just going to finish these as little either flat folds or probably little cushions. So that's the stats there. So we did we stitched Bella B first, stitched her in 2021. Then Bella Butterfly, I started her on the 8th of January and finished on the 9th of January 2022, and had a little bit of a gap, and I stitched Bella Rose in February of this year. Again, starting to finish over 2 days. And then I did Bella Hydrangea in April and May. And I loaned these to a friend and she's given them back. So I will, you know what, I might do a cheeky little giveaway for these charts as well. They're a little bit, they're not in pristine condition. They're fine, no rips or anything, but they have been, you know, opened and photocopied and closed, and I'll find the charts. So I might do a giveaway for those. Again, so we'll wait till the very end for that. Okay, it's gonna be a Nora Corbett day. So I did make a change though for one of them. I'll talk about that. So I said I used a called for materials, but I did change the skin color on Bella Butterfly. So here they are. They're on little scraps, so they're not a lot of room, but I don't need a lot of room for framing. So we've got Bella Butterfly here and Bella B. So Bella Butterfly, when you look at the called for skin color in the DMC, I pulled it and it didn't look like the picture. I don't think she was dark enough. So I went the next shade up, because one of the things I really love about these 4 is that all the girls have different skin colors. Like, it's embracing kind of diversity and yeah. So this one's the very blingy one. She's lots of beads, and this one, the background color is silk, so it's a variegated silk. You wouldn't have to stitch in silk. You could totally just pull a nice DMC. So that's that one. And then I stitched Bella Rose and Bella Hydrangea. And of course you got your English Rose with Bella Rose, and a more like Hispanic, I guess, skin color with Bella Hydrangea. She kind of has that Frida Kahlo-esque, you know, with the big earring and the big flowers and stuff. So are they pretty? So they were very kind of quick to finish, but I guess they're full coverage. They take, you know, a little bit of stitching. And then I've got 3 Bewitching Pixies. So these were all stitched on 32 count vintage vintage country mocha. One of my packets was called vintage antique. I think it depends on where you buy it. I used the called for, but I changed Anna's here. I changed Anna's here to Auburn, and I didn't write it on here, but I changed, which one did I stitch last? Gigi. I changed Gigi's skin color. I made her a little bit darker as well, because she was, I don't know, she was too pale for me. They're very pale. So Anna and Eva were 50 at 50 starts. Gigi wasn't. I started her in 2022, but my 50 at 50 finished on Christmas Day, and I started Gigi on Christmas Eve with Judith. We did a stitch along. So Anna, I stitched over 4 days in April 22. Eva, I stitched over 3 days in 22. Gigi, I was still in a stitch along with Judith, so we mostly stitched when we were together. And then I did a rip, shit and bust to finish her on Christmas Eve again at Judith's. Judith finished hers in 2024, I think. So that's just the details there for these 3. So there were more than 3 Bewitching Pixies, but I'm a completist at heart, but I kind of typically, when there's too many, and I don't love all of them, I pick 3. So like I did that with my mermaids, with my Mirror Mermaids. I picked 3 that I loved. I actually had more charts and I sold them. This is way back in like the 90s, early 2000s, because I was like, you know what, 3's enough. I did 3 fairies. I've done 3 of this range of, I've got 3 other Bewitching Pixies, but they're different styles. I'll show you them shortly. So really, now I've got to remember which one's which. So Anna is the one with the ginge. So I gave her red hair. So I changed her hair to be red. And look at that apple. That apple is freaking perfection. Not saying that I stitched it. I'm just saying the highlight, the way you use the fractionals, it's just absolutely delicious, that apple. So there is Anna. And then next is Ava. This one. So she is pretty much as called for. I don't think I changed anything other than the fabric, because the fabric is called for like milk chocolate, which I think, but I used country mocha. So that is Ava. And then this is Gigi that I did a stitch along with Judith. It has some big ass freaking pony beads, which I'm still not 100% sure I won't swap, because I kind of feel like they're a bit ridiculous. And it's really hard to get them to stand up because they fall over when you iron them. And this is Gigi. Yeah, look at those pony beads on the broom. They're stupid. They're really huge. They're kind of a bit ridiculous. I probably will change it, but I've said that for like 3 years now. And see her skin colour, I just went on to Lord Liverden and found a alternate skin colour. I think he used 2 or 3 shades, and just made her a little bit darker. For some reason, I just didn't enjoy stitching her. Even though I stitched the other girls the pale, they do kind of blend in a little bit. I think that's the 3. So that's the 3 of that style that I'm stitching. There's, there's like at least 5 or 6 others in that series. But then I've got 2 more, and I cannot find the card for one of them. So we've got Moon Glow, and I think it's called Floral Dreams. So Moon Glow is on the called for Mediterranean Sea 32 count linen by Whitshilt. And this was the hashtag Embrace the Folds sale. So I started her 22nd of January 2024 and finished her 17th of August. So called for Mediterranean Sea 32 count linen by Whitshilt. Called for GMC, but some substitutions in silk and cotton. So like all of the colours, all of the silk in her tuffet, the floral thing she's sitting on, are not substitutions from my stash. And the greenery and the stems, the purpley colour in the stem is from my stash. They're not called for. The metallic, I think the colour in the moon, I did buy that one. It's a silk, and then I think called for beads. Yeah, called for beads. So that's Moon Glow. And then her sister companion piece is Floral Dreams. Similarly, I substituted some of the silks for this one. Called for beads. The lavender is called for. I had that in my stash, but some of the colours and the flowers and definitely the stems and the floral thing is not called for. And the fabric's not called for. This is, geez, I can't remember, 32 count, I think chestnut. It's a Whitshilt, I think chestnut. The call for this was like dirty, or it was like really plain, like not dirty linen, but just like neutral. And it was like, no, I wanted this warmer colour. So that's her, but goodness knows where the card is, but that's my other. So those are my Nora Corbett's that are my finishes. And then I thought, I haven't got a Nora Corbett going. Do I have too many whips? Yes, but they don't take that long to stitch. So I have 3 more of the Bewitching Pixie line, but they are different style ones. So I'm going to start one of these. I'm going to get you to vote on them. So first up I've got, you could argue this is a similar style. It's just that it's a bit bigger and it has more going on. This one is Witching Hour, and I love that it has, it's got a cat, love cats, on books, love books, having a drink, love drinks. And it's just crikey, smashed myself in the face. So this is one, and I'm probably going to stitch this one on. I also am going to use the 32 count vintage fabric, but I'm going to use the, I think, vintage marble. So this way all of my Bewitching Pixies are going to be on vintage fabric. So vintage marble is this one. So that's Witching Hour. So if you want to vote for this, you'll just say Witching Hour. And then I've got, these have been something set on them. I've got Claire and Evanora. So you would say Claire or Evanora, Evanora. And they're also Bewitching Pixies, but obviously very different style. So I'm also going to stitch these on the vintage fabric, but I'm going to use the Stormy Night one. I think they look good on a bit of a darker fabric, and they've got sort of these purpley colours in here with the little bit of silk and the beads and stuff. So I've got enough for those two. So your choice, which one I'm going to start. And essentially I'm going to basically not wait till next Sunday to decide. I'm going to just leave it for, I usually get most of my comments by Wednesday. So on my Wednesday after work, I'll just pick whatever is being voted. So we've got Witching Hour, Evanora, or Claire. And I've got all the beads and bling and everything like that, so they can all get started. One of them will get started, and then that will be continuing on the Nora Corbett theme. Don't lose the fabric. And that is the plan, Stan. Other than that, red thread a day. Russell. Going to carry on with get October in the bag. Got some other red thread stuff I need to do and a bit of secret stitching for Christmas that I need to do. But yeah, that's the plan to carry on. I should have another good stitching week because I'm not doing too much other than going into the office tomorrow. So I'm in the office on Monday, in the Wellington office. And that's sort of all I've got for this week, I think. Me coming back, I totally forgot that I was going to give these charts away. So just a quick little if you're interested in the two Nora Corbett charts, so you get Nora, I'm going to give them away together as a set. I will send them anywhere, but if they're going to the States, I don't even know, because it's going to look more like anyway, I don't even know what the status is for anything at the moment. No, I have to wait to a new election or something, but anyway, so I've got this one is the Bella Butterfly and Bella Bee, and you got Bella Rose, Bella Hydrangea. So if you want to go in to win these or be in the draw for these, just mention Bella, Bella, and I will draw you next Sunday. So good luck. Don't mention any of those key giveaway words like free giveaway, blah, blah, blah. If they go missing on the way, it is what it is. I'm passing on my stash. I'm not replacing them. So anyway, see you next week. Bye. It's probably about 12:15-ish. So I might go scrounge up some lunch and then put all this stuff away. Get that video edited, get it up, finish my book, maybe run the vacuum cleaner around and call Sunday in the bag, really. How exciting to be me. Okay, thanks for coming along. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a really good stitchy week. Find joy in your stitching or whatever else you do to bring you joy. Find joy in something. And as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.